Joining us now on the Dubcast, part of the Roundball Australia podcast network, is Chelsea women's legend Carly Telford. Carly, first of all, welcome back to Australia.
Thank you.
Here to launch the Sydney Super Cup. What have you made of the day so far?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, it's a little bit grey this morning, but the sun's come out for us now, and I'm definitely not complaining, as it's about 5 degrees in London right now, so could have been a better day for it.
Well, you'd be used to the grey skies and overhead conditions and a little bit of rain spatter, wouldn't you?
Exactly, but that's the thing, I didn't come to Australia for that. I brought it with me. I'll be getting blamed for it, but nah, it might be like that come August next year, but yeah, I mean, it'd just be great to get back out here with the girls.
Obviously, you know, it's going to be a big event. It's the first time that a women's team has been part of this Sydney Super Cup event. Not the first time that women's team has toured here from the Women's Super League, but the first time here in Sydney.
Yeah.
What are you going to make of the event?
Well, first, it's an absolute honour. Look, and thank you to Sydney for bringing us down. Like, it's. I know the guys have been working hard in the background to pull it all off, and it's been a lot of wheels, a lot of cogs, but we finally made it happen. It's official today. We feel very grateful that we're getting to come here. I think having Sam and Ellie, obviously 2 Australians that we get to bring home. So hopefully we have a good crowd, not too many boos, even though we'll be the visiting team. But yeah, just to bring women's football back and be part of something so special. Obviously having Spurs and the 2 Sydney teams as well playing in that. But it's going to be a spectacle football over 2 or 3 weeks. So loads of Sydney people, hopefully in their winter where it's a bit cold, it's a bit dark, it's a bit dreary, they're going to come out and support in their numbers and watch an amazing game of football.
You've played previously in Australia. You're at Perth Glory, so obviously a lot of jet setting around the country.
Yeah.
But one of the things, was the semi-professional nature of the competition. A lot of the players having to work second jobs, and 13 years on, sadly, not much has changed. I mean, and I know Australian football's always looking for like that shot in the arm, right?
Yeah.
But to have Chelsea come here, you mentioned Sam Kerr, Ellie Carpenter, do you think maybe that can help give it a push in the right direction as well?
Yeah, definitely. You know what it is? It's really difficult. I think a lot of the girls probably growing up all support like Premier League teams, right? So if you are a good player and you get a chance to go and play for a Premier League club, especially one that you might support, of growing up knowing, like that's what you want to do. So unfortunately we lose a lot of the players, or you guys lose a lot of players to the WSL and to Premier League sides, but that doesn't mean there'll be a full circle moment one time. Those girls are getting older. Will they come back home and play, which then spurs them again? But trying to keep something on all of the time. So World Cup was amazing for Australia, so now bringing obviously Arsenal last year, us this year, they got Asia Cup next year and stuff, so I just think it's going to keep building and building, and then having a place for young girls to aspire to be to is going to be those all-star games and those all-star teams, those W teams that they can join eventually.
Yeah, one of the things I saw when the date was announced, obviously it's in pre-season for Chelsea.
Yeah.
But it's in the off-season for the A-League's All-Stars.
Yeah.
None of the players will be under contract officially unless things change with the CBA. What do you think that's going to do to the game?
I don't really know, because I haven't really experienced that before. I think that in a way it's maybe going in the shop window if you haven't maybe made a decision, or there's this close you're deciding on, or maybe you're trying to get a few extra zeros on your pay packet. It could be a great opportunity to do so, right? Put your name in the shop window. But I think also like it's an opportunity for girls that probably might have not played at this level before to put themselves against some of the best players in the world. Like, we're very lucky at Chelsea to have some of those players in all kind of, from the goalkeeper to defence, midfield and beyond. Like, I think that if you're an all-star player or you want to be in that squad, it's something to work hard in your off-season for, to make that squad and then be able to be part of that game as well.
And what have you do you watch a lot of the A-Leagues? Do you check out the highlights? Because here in Australia, it's a lot of, they'll either watch the games live or it's watch the mini match, watch the highlights.
Yeah.
Does the inverse happen on the other side of the world?
Yeah, I think a lot of the Australian girls do, probably not so much the WSL players, just because they don't really know about the league unless, and I follow it still because I played obviously for the club for Perth, so it still comes up in my highlights, still on Twitter. I still see things going on, but you know what it is, now that the game's become so global, there's a lot of highlights you get fed, because a lot of outlets are trying to pick up from everywhere and trying to find the next bit of talent, trying to keep eyes on people, where they're moving, what are they doing, who's the next Australian girl that's going to come through and be the next Sam Kerr or the next Ellie Carpenter, etc, etc. So you do get fed a lot of that on your timeline, so I do try and keep tracking it. I don't know a lot at the minute. I heard that Sydney doing pretty well again this year, which doesn't surprise me. Sydney always does well, but yeah, I think that it's just great. I just think that it needs to be keep growing and growing.
And you had 3 stints at Chelsea, if I remember correctly. Which one was your favourite?
It has to be my final one. Look, I was a very young, naive little Geordie girl when I was first signed for them, and I didn't, I guess, behave. But it was semi-professional. I acted very much as a semi-professional athlete. I enjoyed myself way too much away from football, but I went away. Emma brought me back, and enabled me to win 10 trophies with the club. And then I went and played for England at a World Cup and stuff like that. So without that, I don't think I'd have been as successful as I did. So definitely that last part. And thankfully Sam was part of that, Sam Kerr, in terms of she came into the team while I was still playing, so got to kind of be part of that legacy of her journey. But yeah, it's just, that was probably my favourite time. Yeah. And
you finished your career with San Diego Wave with Alex Morgan. What was it like getting to play with Alex?
Oh, you know what it is like. we had a big rivalry. Most people, if you knew women's football, when she did the tea celebration,
Yep.
she's very famous for, that was against me in goal when she played against us. So when I first signed, that was kind of my first bit of beef with her, to bring that up, is to be like, I remember you for the wrong reasons. I still lots of questions about it, and yeah, we got on like a house on fire. And you know what it is, to be in the presence of someone like that every day and see how they function, and like, I think sometimes you just think people are talented, but actually when you get behind the scenes of what it's like to be in a shared dressing room with the likes of Alex Morgan, Sam Kerr, who are the best of what they do, it's completely understandable. She was the first in, last out every day. Obviously she had Charlie as a child as well, so she was mum outside of football, in football, but then also one of the best players in the world I've ever played with. But that's because she trained us hard every day. So very blessed to spend my final season with her. Good golfer as well, so we played a little golf, but yeah, she's just a great girl.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss not to mention this. Last question.
Yeah.
I'm non-binary. You're a proud queer woman yourself.
Yes.
What's it like, living in a world where, in most of the world, we can be open and be ourselves.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously changed a lot in the last 10, 15 years throughout your playing career.
Yeah.
What's it like seeing the change towards the back end of your career where this is openly celebrated?
It's incredible, you know what it is, and I think we're very lucky. Like, I obviously living in England, it's a lot more accepted. There's a lot more conversations around it in schools, in colleges and universities, and just in society. It's probably the same in Australia. I don't live here, so I can't directly say this, but it feels like it's that way. And I just think it's now that everyone should be able to be who they want to be and play the sport they want to play in life, and there's a space for everyone. And look, in women's football, we found that has been extremely comforting for a lot of people, and people feel like they can gravitate to it because whether in the stadium, they're around the teams, they can be themselves and be whoever they want to be. And we're just very grateful that we have that, and we've had so many people before us, those that are in it right now and those that will go after us, that will continue to celebrate all walks of life in our beautiful game.
No worries. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Dubcast today, and we can't wait to see you back here in August.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you as well.
Likewise.